Hey folks, it's Owen here again with another battle report, and we're still in the Troll Slayer preparation mode, which means that we have exactly 3 weeks before Troll Slayer. 3, 2, 3, 24th, 25th. I think it's only 2 weeks from the weekend actually. Lists are in on Sunday night, so probably get one more game in after this. I've slightly changed the list again from the one that I have here, but I think it's something that I'm probably going to settle on because it's around a 13, 13.2, something like that, and it's quite a fun list as well. I'm kind of enjoying it. Taking a bit more time to paint and get some more movement trays ready, which you'll see here, but in the next game I've got quite a bit more done, which is cool. But let's get cracking. So it's the Troll Slayer preparation game, and we roll up the Watchtower. Watchtower for this tournament is 1,000 points, which is huge for points. It's almost you have to have the tower. That's it. Take the tower or else you're going to lose the game. So really got to get somebody in the tower if I don't win, and have to bring somebody in to protect them if I do win. So it's me with my High Elves against another Dark Elf guy, and it's 2,200 points again. So my spells are as such. I got 6, 5, a 3 and a 3 if I remember correctly. So I decided to take Hand of Glory instead of taking Soul Quench, because I find Hand of Glory to be really handy, especially when there's things like miasma being cast on me, putting my weapon skill and my initiative down. I want to put them back up. So we'll see how it goes, and I really like Arcane Forging and Fiery Convocation, so I gotta have those spells, you know. So we have the eagle there on the left hand side, and the reason he's so far over is because of the scouting Dark Elf shades that appeared over there. So I had to put one eagle on one side and one eagle on the other. I didn't want them coming in behind my lines. They're tough little units. No saves or anything like that, but I mean they've got the multiple shot -1 hand bows, so they're just a pain in the arse. So yeah, I have an eagle there on the left. I have 11 Sisters of Avalorn, first time using them, and I already made a mistake, which I realised after turn 1, is that they are way too far up. I should have measured out where he was from and kept them far back so I could move him where I wanted. But of course, made a mistake, what can you do? So Handmaiden, the Everqueen's in there too. She gives them quick to fire, so they can move around and fire without losing their ballistic skill. So they're usually hitting on 3s, you know, if they're far away, so it's pretty cool. And she has the Reaver Bow and the Potion of Strength as well, which means that if I have anything big coming along, she's going to take it out. And then to be honest, I didn't know what to do with my BSB, so I popped him in there as well. For the next game, I think I'll be sticking him in with the Phoenix Guard just to keep him around there and keep him alive as well. But he has a Shield of Murworm just in case anybody comes in to give him a bit of a slap. So, and behind them I have 2 Bolt Throwers. Oh, and the Phoenix Guard there on the right with the Razor Stick. And over here on the right then I have the main unit of Spearmen, which have now got a movement tray, and they will have everything changed. So hopefully I'll be getting them done over in the next couple of weeks, because I'm sick and tired of seeing grey there. But anyway, 28 Spearmen with full command, and I have my Prince in there. I have a new general who's the Prince of Flowers. He has his Ogre Blade, a Dragon Helm to give him some nice save, and Talisman of Endurance to give him a 5+. And because I'm in there with my Archmage who has high magic, I usually end up having a 4+, which is pretty nice. And the Archmage has himself the Talisman of Preservation, so he usually has a 3+. So they should be kept alive, and I kind of have him in there just so in case anybody comes in to the Archmage, he can make way and challenge and stuff and keep him alive, you know. On the right hand side then I have 5 Aurelian Reavers, Musician and Bows, usual ones I have, and I have another Eagle there on the right hand side. And over to the Dark Elves. He has 2 Bolt Throwers there at the top of the hill, 5 Dark Riders there on the left with shields and full command, so they're, pain in the arse. We have 9 Doomfire Warlocks with a Master Warlocks, and a Supreme Sorceress in there who's his big boss. She's the level 4 on Shadow, which is nasty. Talisman of Preservation and Dispel Scroll, which is nice and handy for her. To her right then he has 20 Dark Shards who have the Banner of Eternal Flame, who would be nasty for anybody else, but we don't really care about that. Well, they are nasty Dark Shards, so we do care about that. And then on the right hand side, he has put himself in 25 swordsmen with shields and full command, which I think is a nice thing to add in. It's a handy little bunker unit if you do need to move anybody in there. They're quite solid as well. They're probably the same as the High Elf ones really, so I think they're really handy to have, and they're cheap as well. Cheap for a High Elf, which is quite good. On the right then there he has the Executioners, who are just beasts tough beasts. 30 of them as well, which is a nasty unit. Then he has his Master BSB in there as well, who has heavy armor, shield, Sea Dragon Cloak. So he's a 1+ save, which is rerollable thanks to his Dawnstone. And then he's Sword of Might to give him a bit more clout, which is pretty cool. And then he has 5 Dark Riders there beside him, shields and full command again. And just out of the picture there is another Bolt Thrower. So I forgot to say at the start that I won the Watchtower roll, so I put my 18 archers in the Watchtower just to keep it watching it until someone else gets up there to help them out. Then we had our Vanguard rolls, and I won the roll off to do that, so I moved the Reavers up there just not too far away from the wood there, so they get some cover saves if they do get shot from that bolt thrower over there. And I don't think they can really get seen by the other bolt thrower, but they probably won't be the first choice to be shot anyway. So Dave's Dark Riders then move over this way because they can't be within 12 of mine, so they can't get too far. Of course, there's no one else over here to oppose him here at all, so he just flies forward. Puts his Dark Riders in front of the Warlocks, which was an interesting move because I said, well, if I get the chance, I'll be shooting them. But I assume they would be moving off once they get the chance to go. So, Dark Elf first turn, the movement phase, and all he moves from this slide is the Shades that move down a bit further towards my Eagle to pepper him full of shots, so he should be dead at the start of this, at the end of this turn. And nothing else moves, surprisingly enough, because I thought he would use his fast cav to run right around and get right in the face of my bolt throwers, but lucky for me he didn't, eh? Other movement then, and the Spearmen charge straight. Actually, I think they're Swordsmen in this case, but Spearmen, Swordsmen, whatever, they charge into the archers who get some shots off. Only kill 2 guys, but 2 is better than nothing. And then the Executioners and their friends, the Crossbowmen, wander down as well. Dark Riders then just move right in front of the Crossbowmen, or sorry, the Executioners. And if I had seen that, maybe I would have put some more shots over there to try to get him to panic as well. Not too sure if the Executions are stubborn or not. I don't think they are. I think that's the Blackguard. But anyway, see how we go. So, Dark Elf Magic Phase, and the lesser of many evils, I let away Melicot's Mystifying Miasma on these guys, so the Hex Spells has me down, and we're not going to be as effective in combat, but they're archers, so they're not really that effective anyway. More effective against guys they can strike first when we get some rerolls, but now that we're against the old Dark Elves who have always strikes first, no rerolls for me. But it was okay because no other spells went off. So onto the shooting phase, and Eagle on the right hand side gets 2 wounds pumped off him by I think it was a bolt thrower, yeah, 2 wounds gone already, so not so hot. Over here then, this comes to show why I should not have put them so far forward. I should really have put them alongside the archers, or not the archers, sorry, the bolt throwers. They can move anywhere and fire however it is without penalty because of the woman inside their unit, so I shouldn't have bothered. Lesson unfortunately learned too late because 4 of them are now dead, and I would say quite a lot more are going to follow. And 2 more do follow, which involves a panic test, but they pass it. Leadership 9 from the Handmaiden, and plus a BSB is there as well, so we're pretty safe. Unfortunately, the Eagle is not so safe, and he gets blown away by the Shades. And that side is going to be taken already. And the Dark Elf combat phase, so there's only 1 combat in the building, and the Dark Elves win that a little bit handily for my liking. So 5 of my guys are dead, taking away 3 of theirs, so I suppose we kill 2 on the way in, so 5 against 5. Unfortunately they have bigger numbers than we do, so we can't really win this war of attrition. However, we are stubborn in there, so we pass our test and we're good to go. Of turn 1, and I took a little bit of a chance here because he'd only 1 wound left. I said, look, I'll send him into this forest, hide there for a turn, and then maybe spring out and do something. Unfortunately, landing in the trees wasn't exactly what the Eagle was used to, so he went straight in, rolled himself a 1, and he killed himself. Nice one, Eagle. On to the rest of my movement. So really I just wanted to move stuff a little bit forward. I was kind of concerned with the Dark Riders on the left hand side plus the Warlocks. I didn't know what the fuck they were going to do because they're so fast. I was kind of stuck. Again, if I had left my sisters further back where the bolt throwers were, I would be less concerned to what they were going to do because I'd have a lot more firepower there. But again, I have to learn that lesson, learn the hard lesson too. So what I did was I moved the BSB into the Phoenix Guard after they moved up, just to give him more protection. And I mean, the sisters are in trouble already, so there's no point losing the BSB in the meantime either. And then my general's unit just moves up a small bit as well, so I can get into combat. It's not combat range, magic range, and that's pretty much it. So onto my magic phase, and mistake number 2 I made in this one is that I completely forgot that every time these guys charge in, the spearmen or swordsmen or whatever, it becomes a new combat phase, which means that even though I cast Hand of Glory and give myself extra initiative so they wouldn't have rerolls, which they wouldn't have had anyway, I didn't cop that either. It wasn't a great start to the game for me, let's just say that. It didn't make any difference to me whatsoever, so I just cast a spell, got some war save in my general, and when the new guys come in they're going to have hatred all over again, so I'm going to get chopped up. So, another lesson learned. But anyway, we get some shooting off and get rid of 3 more of the spearsmen / swordsmen, and then the bolt throwers take away 6 of those guys over there. Now maybe I should have concentrated on the crossbowmen because they are so fucking dangerous. But I also thought, well, these guys, I need to thin them down a little bit, these spearmen. So we've got to get rid of some of them as well. I think there was just too much for me to shoot at in this game, really. But there's nothing much I can do, really, in this kind of Swedish comp to bring more guys in, you know. So I get some shots off with the Sisters of Avalon for the first time, and these ladies are hot stuff. I think I had 5 shots, and all of them hit, and 4 of them wounded on 2s because Force of Destruction gives you an extra +1 strength. 6 save, they died, ran away, and had a panic test on the Warlocks, which is what I wanted. Unfortunately, Dave rolls a 9, which is his leadership, so very close there to getting a very nice bit of fortune. But hey, give it a shot. Got rid of a couple of Dark Riders, that's alright. So Dark Elf turn 2, and best thing Dave wanted to do was get stuck in with those shades and blow someone away, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Those guys are dirty, very good, and I really like the way he's using them. He's using them great, and nothing else moves in this slide. And then over here, other Dark Rider unit says, whoops, let's get out of dodge here. So they fly across over to my side, probably to either take a couple of shots, maybe go in and take out a bolt thrower or 2. He's got a lot of choices if he goes behind there. And then the Executioners just wander up a bit further as well. I'm not too sure why he didn't just charge them into the building, because, I mean, they would have gone through my guys like butter. But he decided to charge the Spearmen / Swordsmen, whatever the fuck they are, in there again, because I think he just really wanted to kill the Swordsmen or something like that. But there you go, lesson learned. I think he should have went straight in with those Executioners. And that's pretty much it. So shooting. Shades shoot, and Shades do fuck all. I thought the Shades were really going to tear me to shreds, to pieces, and they only killed 2, which is not too bad. I was pretty sure my whole unit would be gone, so I'm quite happy with that. And some more shooting from these guys, and he for some reason puts crossbowmen shooting at my Phoenix Guard, who have very high survivability against something like that, because he's hitting me on, I think it's 6s because of the distance. Because he's multi-shotting as well. And then I have -1 to my armor, so a 6+ save and then a 4+ ward. I only lost 1 guy, which is quite good because I think he got through with 3 or 4 shots. But anyway, to put it in context, he should really have gone to hit the Sisters to take off those points, because there's quite a few points there with the Handmaiden as well, nearly 300 odd points, and I'm already 500 points ahead of him in this game because he's at 8.2 and I'm at 13.2. So 500 victory points in this already, and if I keep the Watchtower, it's another 1,000 points. So it's a serious amount of victory points, and I think he really should have gotten rid of those Sisters instead. But there you go. What can you do? No more shooting there. The bolt throwers actually went for my bolt throwers and completely missed, which again I think he should have hit the Sisters, but who cares. On to Dark Elf turn 2, and what he does is a bit of combat here. He kills 2 guys, I kill 2 guys, and that's it, push. So good news for us, we're still alive. I'm very surprised you only lost 2 guys there, very, very surprised. So High Elf turn 2, wasn't too sure what to do here, so I decided to, one was to block with the Reavers on the right hand side. Best thing to do, leave them there. If they die, fucking so what, who cares. Then bring the Phoenix Guard up closer, so they have a chance to either charge the Executioners if they do get a charge and get rid of my Reavers, which they would do, and who cares, they chop them up. But we would either get a side, or even if he reforms, we get a nice frontage charge on them, hold them up for a couple of turns, and then I get my main unit of Spearmen into the building, which then I obviously take my archers out, or else I can just march in there with the Phoenix Guard if the Executioners don't do anything else. So I don't think that's too bad, and I'm not too afraid of the Warlocks charging into me, because I think we're just as survivable as they are, and we're just as tough as they are. So yeah, I think we're a lot better off the way we are. So then I moved the Sisters around a little bit just to get some shots off on those shades, because they're a pain in the hole. Onto the magic phase, and I got myself off Arcane Unforging. Unfortunately, I went off with Irresistible Force. Now, I think I forgot to take a little picture afterwards, but got rid of his Dawnstone. Actually, it did cause a wound because it was his armor. It was 2+, no save, so he's a wound gone. Dawnstone is also gone, and I think I lost 3 guys due to the miscast. So no worries, that'll do very nicely. So on to the other shooting, and the Sisters over here get rid of 5 of these little fuckers. And it's delightful that they're gone, because they failed their leadership test and they ran away. Good news, they can run as far as they want for all I care, because at least it's going to keep them away from me for a turn. And I'll figure out something to do, but I think that's the best thing the Sisters could have done, because they're going to be toast in the next turn. Some more shooting then, and I think I had target priority completely wrong here. 2 bolt throwers fired into these guys, got quite a lot of shots in, but only killed 2 of them because of their ward save. And I said, well, I might as well give it a go. Maybe he'll fail a couple, you know. And he did. He failed a couple. I think I would have been better off putting everything into the crossbowmen and getting rid of at least a rank, if not maybe a good bit of the other rank as well. But that's just target choice, and you know, maybe I did the right thing, maybe I did the wrong thing. It's always nice to get rid of those fucking Warlocks anyway, because they're a pain in the arse, and you know, I don't like them. There you go, don't like the Warlocks. So Dark Elf turn 3, and finally the Warlocks decide to get into the combat, but not in the way that I thought they would. They just sneak down and get themselves into position to fire Doombolt at my main unit. Wonderful, thanks very much, Warlocks. But at least they're moving around and they're doing something, which is what Dave needs to do, because these guys are probably they're really good, even if they do get into combat, you know. Any other movement there? Just the charge in by the Spearman / Swordman into the Archers again. Dave decides not to charge into my Reavers, just to leave it there. He reckons that he can shoot them off, and then he'll be free to move in the next turn. So fair enough. There's your choice. And we get ourselves some magic. Soul Blight goes off, and I say, fucking, I'll let it go. There's no point. I mean, -1 strength, -1 toughness. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to charge in this turn anyway. Or my next turn, should I say. And then by the time he charges into me, this will be gone. So if I let this go, I'm more than likely have a chance to stop the fucking Doombolt that's coming up. So let's see what happens. And nothing happens because Doombolt was stopped, which is nice. But the shooting was not stopped, because you can't stop that. So his bolt thrower on the right hand side fires a bolt straight across and kills 2 of the Reavers. That's fine. 2 Reavers gone, still 3 there. We pass our panic, no worries. As long as one of those guys stays there, he's staying there for good, because I don't want him going into that build, because they'd be chop suey and he's taking the build and that's 1,000 points. Can't have that. So you're staying there to get killed, lads. A bit more shooting goes on then, and he puts a couple of shots into the Phoenix Guard again, and I think it's a waste really when he's putting them in there. You might as well get rid of the Sisters, which he doesn't do. He does take some advice when I did say that, and he put all the bolt throwers into them, so we got rid of the Sisters finally. Best thing to do, because they are such a pain in the backside. And actually, what I forgot to say earlier on was the Shades rallied and they're standing right in front of me, so not so good. They're going to be a problem as well. And then the combat in the Dark Elf turn sees me losing 3 guys and him only losing 1. So the war of attrition is not going well. However, we have the general near enough now to give me leadership 10, and I have a reroll, so these guys are definitely going nowhere now. So High Elf turn 3. Simplest thing for me to do here was to leave the Reavers where they were, move up with the Phoenix Guard where I get an even nicer charge. Now I can charge them if I want, or I can go into the building. Plus, if he goes in with the Reavers, then I've got a nice charge in there as well. Same as before, I give the Warlocks my arse because I don't really care about the Warlocks. I don't think they're going to come into me. It looks like Dave's not going to be too aggressive in this game, which is going to play to my favour. Then over here on the right hand side, with the main unit, I do a swift reform and just face them up, just in case the Warlocks do come in that direction, because I would be a bit more afraid if they go into my main unit. Even though the Prince is going to kick ass, those guys still have a ward save that's going to be very hard to get rid of. We have the ranks. Maybe he won't go in the front, but you never know. Plus, we'll get to have a few magic shots as well, so that's not bad. And that's exactly what I do. Fiery Convocation goes off. I probably have chosen the wrong unit again to do this thing on, but I really, really hate Warlocks, so I really had to try it out. So, yeah, I roll the dice. I think I wound 5 of them, and he makes 4 ward saves. Brilliant stuff. 1 guy down. And I think it was a miscast. And it looks like I was mistaken, because I don't think it was a miscast. Maybe it just got through. But anyway, so ball throw number 1 fires at these guys, kills 3 of them. Panic test, nobody runs away. Damn, I thought we were so close to getting rid of these guys. But that's okay, no problems at all. Having only 2 there is even. So Dark Elf turn 4. Oh, we forgot to do. I think we forgot to do the combat up the top, so that we lost a couple more guys. Whatever. So yeah, Dark Elf turn 4. Shades try to charge. We can't do anything about it. They roll whatever 3 and a 4. They fail, so they only go 3. But it means that he is definitely in nice charge. I think he has to roll a 5 or 6 in the next turn, so he's got a lot better chance. But I still have 1 more turn to shoot those guys, so that's okay. So the rest of the movement for these guys over here, and down the bottom right you'll see that Dave has moved these guys over, mainly just to be a bit of an annoyance to me. I think that maybe he should have moved them over towards my Reavers and shot them instead, because I mean there's no point in them even being there really. A couple of shots into the Spearman bunker, who cares? I lost some Spearmen, boo hoo. But I think he'd be better off moving over there, but anyway, whatever. We have the Warlocks then who move over. I'm not too sure why he moved over that way, to be honest. Maybe, well, I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I don't think Dave is being aggressive enough. Dark Elves need to be aggressive because that's what they are. They're tough, they're fast, they're aggressive. They should be straight in. But the further he keeps them away from me, happier I am. Plus, they're burning now anyway, so who cares? So on to Melikoth's Mystifying Miasma, which is on me again. Dave, as far as I remember, cast it on my movement. Was it movement? Yeah, it was movement. Just in case I went in to attack him. So what he's done is he's pretty much stopping me from moving in to get him. So I don't care. I don't need to do it. All I need to do is make sure that this watchtower is mine. I don't care about the rest of his units. They can do whatever they want. And apologies for the blurry picture here, but he kills 2 more of my Reavers. Take another test. We're good as gold. No problem. These Reavers are deadly. And they have taken more hits in so many games. They're great, perfect. I'm not looking forward to painting another unit of them though, but I still love them. So on to the shooting phase for these guys, and takes a few more shots in here with I think it's crossbowmen, maybe something like that, and kills 3 more guys. I rolled pretty badly on my ward saves, so we're getting whittled down. I'm going to have to make a choice pretty soon to go into the building or to go into the executioners. Dave makes that choice even more important for me to make pretty soon, because 2 more are dead. But Fiery Convocation does its job. He tries a Doombolt, fails, which is wonderful, so that's the end of that. Didn't dispel Fiery Convocation, and 2 more guys are dead. So that's wonderful news. Delighted that that's happened. And then on to combat, and 3 of my guys are dead, and we're being whittled down now, and only 1 of his is dead. So they're pushed back again, and we're stuck where we are. And now we're on to Dark Elf turn 5. See, what happened here is that my camera, or my iPhone should I say, went low on battery, so we plugged it in, said listen, take a 10-minute break, go out and have a smoke, take it easy, have a can. Went back in, ended up talking for a while, and then started playing the game again, going we better hurry up and finish off this game because it's getting late. And I completely forgot to take any pictures of my turn. Suffice to say, Nothing really happened in my turn, and I didn't move very far. Killed a couple of guys with some bolts and stuff like that, but nothing else. So, and then I forgot to take a picture of Dave charging in with his shades into my bolt thrower. So there you go, my turn in a nutshell. So sorry about that, folks. But on to Dark Elf turn 5. Mystifying Miasma is cast again. Let it through, because I don't care about that spell. He only takes 1 off my movement this turn. Actually, he cast the larger version, so it's 1 off everything. But again, I don't really care, so I just let it through. Doombolt's the only problem that I have. That and Soul. Actually, I wouldn't like Soul Blight going off either. But Doombolt's the main. And Fiery Convocation is still going. Didn't cause any wounds the last turn, but it does in this one. Another one's down. He's down to 3 now. And over here, Dave's shooting phase finally gets rid of that last Reaver. So, Skull and Crossbones time for the Reaver. It's actually lasted quite long. He's usually dead way before this, so fair play. And combat then, and the Shades barrel straight through one crossbow and straight into the next one, so uh-oh. And then the combat phase, and I have 2 guys left. Not so hot. It's time to get the fuck out of there, lads, and quick. So we're on to High Elf turn 5. And I grabbed Matt for a second and said, listen up, what's the story here? Can I move a unit out of the building and then move a unit straight in? And he said, yes, of course, why not? And I said, well, you know what, that sounds brilliant, let's do it. So I moved the archers out to the right hand side, and then moved the Phoenix Guards straight in, keep them out of the way. Now, I picked the right hand side instead of the left because I was in fear of the bolt of the crossbowmen just shooting them, and I couldn't put them out the other side because his guys are on the far side and I was on this side, so I thought the right hand side is the best place to go. And sure, if he charges in with his executioners, that's fine, that's okay. I think it was the best idea to do. It doesn't really matter, there's 2 guys. Now if you kill, he gets half, what you do is you get half points for anything under 25%, so he's got half points already. He mightn't bother killing these guys. He should to get the points. It's not a lot, but it's a few. But anyway, I think it's the best thing that I could have done. So the rest of my movement then is just to turn these guys around and leave them where they are. I mean, there's no point moving too far. I don't want to give anybody an easy charge, so keep them where they are. So there's 2 spells here because Convocation is still going off. So I fired an Arcane Forging at his Sorceress, went through, Irresistible Force, get in, Irresistible Force, and we got rid of her Talisman of Preservation. Beautiful stuff. She has no more save, so she's going to finally take some wounds because she's been saving everything that's been hitting at her. Unbelievable stuff. But the miscast goes off and I get another 7. Which means that I lose a couple of guys around me because we've got a 6+ ward because I cast a spell and I rolled some lovely 6s. And I have a 3+ ward myself, so no bothers there. So 3 guys. These miscasts are great. I mean, what the hell is the story with that? The miscast table is ridiculous. It should be a lot worse. So, Dark Elf turn 6, and the choice that Dave made here was to charge my main unit with his executioners and with the 2 Dark Riders down below. Fair enough. What would I have done? To be honest, I don't know. I would have charged a long time ago, but in this situation right here, maybe he would have been better off trying to go into... Maybe better off going into the archers, and I don't know if you're allowed to overrun into a building and a combat. Probably not. It probably wouldn't have mattered anyway. I think maybe it was the only thing he could have done. So he tries it. Executioners fail. Dark Riders succeed. So they're fucked because my prince is going to chop them up. But he gave it a go. So all you can say is fair play. And down here he takes the wise move and moves the sorceress into the dark shards so that she will not be affected by Fiery Convocation anymore. Because even though, to be honest, the chances are she'd have to be wounded twice to die, and the likelihood was pretty unlikely because for some reason I couldn't, after I got rid of her ward save, I couldn't roll. But anyway, there you go. So magic was a bust, and there was pretty much no shooting for the guys. So straight on to combat, and his shades go straight through the next bolt thrower, doing exactly what they wanted to do, and doing it well. Good stuff out of the shades. Wish I had a unit like them myself. The Shadow Warriors just aren't as good, but they do look better. So I suppose we have that. And then the Dark Riders obviously get killed because I make way with my prince, chop them up, and then he reforms and goes back to where he belongs, straight at the front. Because I didn't bother taking my last turn and risk doing anything. There was absolutely no point in me having turn 6, because if I cast any magic I could have killed myself. No point moving anybody around, going into any combats, so the easiest thing to do was just go forfeit my turn. That's it. I got 1,000 points for the Watchtower. I think Dave got maybe something like 500-600 points off me, but I was already up by 500 points, so I won by 900 points, which is quite a good swing. Not too sure how the points are working out in Trollslayer. I think it might be the 20-0 system, so pretty good win, can't complain. Well, I missed the Frost Phoenix, let's just say that. You miss having the Frost Phoenix flying around, giving you backup, because you can really rely on where he's going to go. He's always really, really cool. I think that Dave, if he had been more aggressive, would have pounded me. But, I mean, the Phoenix Guard are a tough unit, so they would really have given the Executioners a good go for their money. Maybe he could have been a bit more aggressive with his Riders and with the Warlocks as well. Who knows? I really do like this army, and the only thing I'm going to change for the next game is to test it out. I'm going to get rid of the Handmaiden, put an extra sister in, make sure I don't have them so fucking far forward that they get killed, and then put the BSB back to the old faithful that I like, which is the Reaver Bow, and then I'm going to put the Potion of Strength on them. So I think that'd be a nice idea. I reckon if anybody else thinks what I should do, or has any ideas of what I should do, let me know, because I'm always open to changing up my list. The army lists now are in for this weekend, which means that I'm going to get one more game, maybe a second game on Saturday. Not too sure if I will, but we'll see if I do. That might see me changing something up, but I like the idea of having a prince. He gives you cool bang on leadership 10, no mess, and he's a tough guy, really fast, always strikes first, got initiative 8, kicks ass, he's very good, and a big magic guy beside him as well. I'm thinking if I do drop the Handmaiden, I can also put in a level 1 and maybe stick him on life, hopefully roll up an Elf Dwellers or something just to wreck someone's head. It's been done to me before, so that would be fun. But that's great, I got this done and I'm delighted I did, because it's really cool to look back over what I did and the mistakes I made, and I've made quite a few, and I always do, but I'm learning a bit, so hopefully I won't disgrace myself in this tournament in a couple of weeks' time. So thanks for listening and watching, and take it easy, folks. Okay.